Welcome to the personal statement video analysis. In this video, I'm going to analyze the personal statement using the fundamental principles and tactics that I described in the YouTube video. So you can go ahead and read the whole personal statement. It's not a long personal statement. You can press pause when you're ready. You can press resume to move on. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give my comment and feedback starting from the first paragraph. So, what is the main fundamental principles for the first paragraph? It's going to be the hook, right? Now, I think he actually has a great hook. He has a great story. He also described his values. So, he got all those three. But there are a couple problems in this first paragraph. The first thing is about the goalkeeper. So, I'm not actually sure what kind of sports that he's actually playing when you read here, but I think when you read through the end, then you notice that most likely it's going to be soccer. Now, you have to be very careful here because Americans don't play soccer. It's not a popular sport. They usually play football, and when you say football, they think it's American football. And hockey, also another sports that quite popular, and they also have a goalkeeper. So it can be pretty confusing when you describe the sports and not knowing what kind of sports you're actually playing and left people confused. It's just a matter of a difference in culture, but you have to pay attention to that because if we don't know what kind of sports you're playing, it's going to be kind of hard to connect. And remember, the key is to connect with the readers. If you want to connect, then the readers have to understand immediately what you're referring to. So that's one. Second thing is, I'm not sure that the paragraph transition nicely because here he described about his playing sport, which I assume is soccer, right? And he was told that he should have quit. And then he jumped to my parents also say the same thing. He told me to quit and don't become doctors. I kind of get the idea. He tries to say that multiple people have told him to quit and just give up. But instead of that, it fueled his determination. So that's pretty much the idea. That's why I said I like the story, I like the hook, I like the values. It's not a problem about that, it's a problem of delivery. It's confusing when you were in one situation and then you jump to another situation. The story becomes confusing. It's hard to follow. So I would probably just use one sentence should be enough if you start in the beginning. We are backward class people. We can be doctors. My parents often said that as I grew up. And you put that in the first sentence. I think that it already made an opening statement about the whole thing that you tried to describe. Right? You don't have to say it twice by describing the sports. That's one I think. The third thing is a little bit technical. I don't think the backward class people is the right terms to use. This is the time when ChatGPT can be very useful, or just an English teacher, a professional writer can be useful. I think maybe low class is the right term. So I'm not really sure myself, but he can try to confirm it with ChatGPT or some native English speaker or American English speaker. All right, so that's my feedback on the first paragraph. Now, the second paragraph, it's quite disappointing for me because if this were the theme, if the we are backward class people, we can be doctors is the theme, then I would love to have him unpack and expand that idea. How he overcome that fact. What are the challenges being the backward class people so they cannot become doctors, and what did you do to overcome that? Now, I didn't get that in this paragraph or even later paragraph. I didn't describe any of that, so it's quite disappointing. I think it can become a really good and strong personal statement if he have that main theme and unpack it, right? Instead, he is going back to the sports, and then he described challenging situations before medical school led me to find my soul in internal medicine, handling the core aspect of preclinical, paraclinical subjects in the clinic. It was all possible by following my way of water theory. Now, this is the thing. He probably tried to describe why internal medicine, but well, I wouldn't. How do I put this? He He's supposed to describe why it's internal medicine. Is he trying to? I'm not really sure, but he put the word internal medicine right here. He said that I find my soul in internal medicine, but I can easily replace the internal medicine to any specialty and it will fit. You see, like let's put this surgery. Challenging situations before medical school led me to find my soul in surgery, handling the core aspects of preclinical and paraclinical subjects in the clinics. See, it works as well. You can replace this word internal medicine with anything and it will work. What does that mean? That means it's not specific enough. He doesn't describe it enough why he chose to be an internal medicine doctor. And the third paragraph is actually a problem. And the main problem of this third paragraph is the fact that he used sophisticated words. Well, not exactly sophisticated words. I would say it's more like difficult to digest metaphor. So you need to remember, this is the reason why I push towards simple words, a simple way to describe, because the readers, the program directors, read so many personal statements, right? They don't have time to digest your complicated metaphor. They don't have time to digest meaning behind of the meaning behind of it's this. They just don't have time to do that. That's why it has to connect very quickly. This personal statement has to be easily digestible. Think about Disney movies compared to complicated and difficult to understand movies like Tenet by Christopher Nolan or Interstellar. Like now, you don't want to be that kind of movie. You want to be like simple Disney movie. It's easy to understand, but it has deep meaning behind it. You can get the ideas, the moral, and the meaning of the story by just watching casually. All right. So that's the problem of this paragraph. And then the last paragraph is the closure. So he got the right idea to circle back to the first paragraph of he's back to the game. And then he won and the underdogs won. And just like that, he also managed to get an honor with a gold medal in academics while mentoring 100 plus aspirants. You did it, my son, my parents said. Tears of joy flowing down their faces. So that would be the punchline. So he has the punchlines, but unfortunately the closure does not deliver, because in order for the closure to deliver, you need to have a great preceding paragraphs. Then the closure will deliver. Now a couple of things I would like to add about this personal statement. Basically, this personal statement is an outlier, right? It's very different compared to other personal statement. But is it different in a good way? I don't think so. The issue is this. You want to make sure that you check the checklist, meaning that you need to fill in the blanks. Why internal medicine? Why do you come to the US? Why we need to choose you? Why this program? What is your future aspirations? So these are the main questions that you need to answer. And this personal statement doesn't really have those, right? If you don't have those information, if you don't answer those common questions, then it will be very hard for the program to see if you're a good fit. So that is actually the reasons why a lot of mentors actually recommend it's okay to have a boring personal statement as long as it's safe. So to make you understand a little bit more, I would describe it this way. So there has to be a balance between, are you trying to say something that they want to hear, or are you trying to have them hear what you're trying to say? So you're actually trying to sell yourself, right? You're trying to sell yourself so people will, quote unquote, buy you, which means extend you an interview and match into their program. Now, just like in business, when you try to sell something, you actually want to put some words or sentences that would convince someone to buy. And if you want to convince someone to buy, you want to say something they want to hear. And that's a fact. For example, if I sell you a course, this is how to become a high quality first year intern. You buy it? Well, most likely no, because you don't care. Because why? You're trying to match. You don't care about how to be a good intern. You're trying to match. What you need is to how to write a good personal statement, how to edit my CV so it looks great, how so I can get better on my interview, how so I can get a US clinical experience with a good letter of recommendations. Now, after you match, good, I match, right? But I think it's very important for you to know how to become a good first year intern, but it's not going to be something that you buy. It's not going to be something that you want to hear. It's not going to be something that you're interested at. It's the same thing as writing personal statement. So here you're trying to say that, look, life is like a way of water. This is the way I handle things. This is the way you handle things. This is you need to be calm. You need to do this. You need to be just like water. Then the program said, yeah, but I don't care. I want to know why you want to come to the program. I want to know why you want to become an internal medicine doctor because I want to know if you're going to be a good fit for the program. You see? That's the thing. There are things that you're trying to say about yourself, but there are things that the program wants to hear about you. And there has to be a balance if you want to try to sell yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope you get it. So that's the reason why having all the checklists being checked is very important. So that's it for this video. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you again in the next video for another personal statement analysis.